Окей. Можно закатить скандальчик.
Do not burden your resolve by dwelling on loss. Direct your thoughts to the present. I do not have much time to talk. There are many who are wounded. Now, there is something you must do tonight. Those bladelings were here to find something, and I fear I know what.
Формально это наш отец. Приемный отец. То есть это объясняет, почему у главного героя может быть абсолютно любая раса, включая и тифлингов, и гномов, и хоть кого. Ну, хорошо выкрутились, ничего не сказать.
Very good. This is not a night for words, but action. There is an item, a silver shard. Long ago, I concealed it in the old stones outside of town. I fear it may have drawn these creatures down upon us.
Нам нужно забрать осколок руин.
The stones outside of town are older and deeper than you may think. In the farthest chamber of these ruins, look for a strong box. Inside is the shard. There remains only one thing. You should not go alone. Bevel, I need you to accompany my son to the ruins. This is an important task.
But Georg says the ruins have been overrun by lizardling tribes.
And that is why you must go. Together, two can succeed where one might fail. The cries of the wounded cannot be ignored any longer. Find the shard. Find it and bring it here.
Ну что, хорошо.
No offense meant, but your father makes the hairs on my neck stand up. Still, if we're going to do this, we should make some haste. It sounds urgent. This path that runs along the river is our best route into the swamp. I hope these ruins aren't too hard to find. We could be out there all night.
Идти ночью в болото, чтобы найти руины.
It's been an age since I've come this far into the swamp. There are some twists and turns before we get to the ruins. There's probably more than lizardlings ahead. So, lead on, I guess.
Идем. На самом деле с Бивилом можно поговорить.
This is a bit too much for me. Amy's dead, the village is in flames, and now here we are in the swamp looking for ruins? I always wanted to be one of those adventurers, like Brunor Battlehammer or Lord Nasher. Well, back when he had adventures. With everything that's happened tonight, though, I think my place is here in West Harbor. Adventuring is all fine and glorious, but someone still needs to remain home and care for the families.
Да, Бивил охладил к приключениям.
What about you? Ever thought of leaving here? Becoming an adventurer?
Да, чтобы мир стал лучше.
That's what I think, too. I wish Amy were here with us. Should we be in some sort of marching order or something?
Какой пеший строй из двух человек?
I'm one of the best of the new militiamen. Never saw you training in the militia, though if we had the time, I could teach you a thing or two.
Лучший воин в новом наборе ополчения. Неплохо.
I can make soup and use a sling, even a bow.
Да, он может сварить суп.
But as Georg says, the only thing I'm really good at is swinging my sword and carrying wood. Should be enough for tonight. As much as the next harborman, I suppose. I haven't set foot there since Georg Redfell said we should avoid the place a few years back. Everyone knows it's been overrun by lizardlings, and Georg says if we don't bother them, they won't bother us. Of course! And you should as well. He watches the village and tries to keep everyone safe.
Он слишком много доверяет Георгу. И Георг слишком много болтает. Ладно, идем.
What's up?
Так, вот видим кучу жуков. Воинами на низких уровнях одна большая проблема. И она заключается в том, что они мажут. Почти всегда. То есть, если воин попал, это, ну, 80% ваншот. Но чтобы попасть, нужно очень сильно постараться. Ну, с моим арбалетом примерно то же самое. Стрелы летят примерно в ту сторону. А иногда совсем не в ту. Ну, попал. Кстати, насчет стрел. У нас их не так уж и много. Интересно, как быть рейнджеру на этом этапе? Хвататься за мечи? Рукавица, малахит, факел. Перчатки сосредоточения. Это на мага. И как раз подойдет. Отдыхаем, почему бы и нет.
Yes, indeed.
Вот тут довольно большая толпень. Так. Забегаем. Ждем, пока танк всех соберет. Ауч. И херачим по ним огненными ладонями. Не очень классно. Вообще не классно. Отлично, мага убил. Спасибо. Так, пытаемся помочь ему. Так, нацеливаемся на жуков. Плохо. Отбегаем, отбегаем, отбегаем. Блин. Ну, не совсем гладко, но все живы. Появился, кстати, с лучшей стороны показал.
Yes, indeed.
Я думаю, все хилки ему. Потому что если напали на мага, то остается только
Yes, indeed.
отбрасывать коньки.
Let's see what you've got.
Let's see what you got.
Let's see what you've got.
Двух волшебных стрел не хватает на то, чтобы убить его? Да, вот те и маг. Или это такие жуки откормленные? Все-таки в предыдущем бою нам очень сильно повезло. Потому что сейчас наш недомаг
What's up?
выпустил абсолютно все в двух жуков. Так, ящер-шаман и ящер-шаман. Это значит, что у них волшебные стрелы. Это значит, что как минимум у меня должен быть иммунитет к этому дерьму. Свободная атака. Щит можно кидать только на себя, поэтому Пивел все равно будет огребать от волшебных стрел. Блестящая сфера. Да, выглядит мне он, конечно, очень глупо. Да. А тебе сколько? Сам такой. Ау, приехали. Черт. Вот наш маг и отъехал. Че, объявил, тащи. Отлично. Лук, двуручка, двуручка. Лук. Вот, собственно, руины.
Yes, indeed. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's see what you've got.
Чё вы удумали? Сейчас смогу, так летит. Блин.
Bust him up. Get him.
Похилился аптечка, как я понимаю. Ну ладно, разобрали. Я даже не знаю, кому сейчас нужнее хилки. Потому что все пытаются зафокусить колдуна. Так, болты. Хорошо. Что это за болты? +1. Отлично.
Yes, indeed.
Пластинчатый доспех. Я думаю, не стоит. А, да, у нас же есть лампочка. Кидаем одну на главного героя. Нет, сначала отдыхаем, потом лампочки. Ну и одну набила. Сразу становится куда светлее. Да, ловушки обезвреживаем исключительно голой задницей. Но они пока что не такие сильные. Так. Оп, 7 ящеров. Отлично, новый уровень. Новый уровень тут не означает подхилку, поэтому беречь его нет смысла. Обаяние подбустим. Так, сосредоточение, определение заклинаний, знание. Опять же. И где-то наша дипломатия. Так, заклятие второго круга. Зеркальный образ, пожалуй. Хотя нет, нам нужна ОЕ. Либо у нас будет АОЕшка, но мы с ней будем постоянно умирать, либо у нас не будет АОЕшки, будет неплохой селф-дефенс. Зеркальный образ. И кислотные брызги. Илки, Александрит, камень грома, аптечка. Все драгоценности сразу сюда. Да, и в ловушке нам надо обезвреживать, собственно, воинов. Ага, потому что он может от них увернуться. Маг-то все лицом поймает, я его знаю. Так, шамана. 2 стрелы. Надеюсь, ему не хватит мозгов на то, чтобы щит скастовать. Ну и вот его кислотой пульнем. Хотя я думаю, все дать главному герою. Куда Бивилу еще что-то? У него и так есть меч. И броня. И он не наш основной спутник, его потом заберут, поэтому лучше у него все забрать. Так, ищем еще ловушки. Не сюда. Ага. На нас, собственно, зеркальный образ, а то мало ли что. Вот эти кружки, вращающиеся, в старых версиях Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, это выглядело как персонаж и... Сколько тут иллюзий? 4 было? И 4 размытых персонажа рядом с ним. Ну, а тут их заменили на кружки. Спорное решение, но разработчикам виднее. Нитки. Лук не нужен.
What's up? What's up?
А, тут-то нас сзади поджали. Так, ну я думаю, пользуясь зеркальным образом, можно и самому завалить. Ты куда? Сохраняемся, враги. Да, выглядим мы, конечно, грозно. Отдыхаем.
Oh, great spirits of the stone
приплыли.
tomb, please hear our plea. The other lizardling tribes take our territory. They wage war. And before we fight them for our ancestral hatching grounds, we asked for your blessings.
There certainly are an awful lot of them. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
Oh, warm
Да, идейка
blood.
была не очень.
Here, your very presence offends the stone god.
Ну что, давайте врать.
You were sent by the stone god. Why would he send a warm blood to aid us?
Война с другим племенем будет победоносной.
Did you hear that? The stone god has spoken. Let us spread the word to the others of our tribe. Our victory is assured.
Поверили. Ладно, что ж. Так, тонкий предмет и осколка.
We were risking life and limb for that? None of this makes any sense. Dagon can do his own blasted quest from now on. When you're done searching around, let's get out of here.
Да, идем.
You have returned, and you have brought the shard.
That's all you can say? I almost died out there.
If I did not believe you could handle the task, I would have sent another.
Yeah, well, you weren't out there in the swamp getting attacked by lizard folk.
No, I was here attending the wounded, Bevel. Now find Marion and do the same.
I don't see how you put up with him.
Now, for the shard. Let me see it.
Да, Бейлу лучше лишаться всего этого подальше, целее будет.
What I have to say to you is not for Bevel's ears, and after this night, you two shall not travel together again. Bevel has his uses, but it is not wise to depend on someone of Starlane blood for too long. Also, his complaining tires me, and will not serve you where you are bound. Many such ruins lie within the mare and beneath it. They are of ancient Ilfarn, an empire once forged from an alliance of dwarfs and elves. All that remains are ruins, and little else. And their empire lives on only in history books and stories.
Немного лора.
That shard is one of a pair. Both were found after the battle that destroyed West Harbor long ago. My half-brother Duncan and I asked a mage in Neverwinter to examine the shards for enchantments, but he found nothing except a faint magical aura, residue of the battle. And so I kept one shard, and the other I gave to Duncan. Not long after I returned to West Harbor, I sealed it away in the ruins.
У меня есть дядя.
So to speak, it would be more appropriate to say that I have a half-brother. Duncan, like Bevel, has many faults that would make it wise not to rely on him or call him Ken.
Это приемный отец, у которого есть единокровный брат, который, в принципе, нам дядя. Санта-Барбара какая-то.
Strange. Perhaps the attack awakened it. If so, then perhaps a second look at these shards would yield different results. But such divinations would be beyond anyone here in West Harbor, including Tarmus. That is the only reason I can think of for why they came. Am I certain? No. But my instincts tell me they were looking for it. It was long ago, and it was a battle that did not concern West Harbor, but the village was caught up in it like many such villages in the Mare of Dead Men. We knew little about what had sparked the conflict. Demons were involved, led by a warlock of great power. We only knew him as the King of Shadows.
Король теней.
The forces of
Это он
Neverwinter
запомнит.
attempted to drive the demons
раз
back.
услышал.
Many villagers fled, some taking the road, others wading into the swamp, anything to escape the battle. There was an explosion, pure and white, then nothing more. I need you to go to the city of Neverwinter, find my half-brother Duncan, retrieve the second shard, and take it to a mage you both can trust. Duncan owns an inn in the docks district of the city, the Sunken Flagon. Not the most reputable place, but safe enough.
А Бевила брать не стоит.
No. As you probably realize, he will be of no help outside of West Harbor. He would only slow you down. Bevel is made for simpler things. It is a better fate than others, I assure you.
А если нападут чудища?
That is possible, but this village cannot shelter you or survive another attack. On the road, moving, you have a chance. Once you reach Neverwinter, it may prove more difficult for them to attack you.
Почему бы не закопать осколок и не отдать его
The
тварям?
problem is more complicated than that. If we give them the shard, I doubt it will prevent them from believing the second one lies here as well. Or others. We only found 2. It is possible there were others, scattered into the swamp or taken away, or have met other ends.
Мне что-то не
There are
договаривается.
many things I have chosen not to tell you, and that is because they are not relevant. Perhaps if you were to question less and heed my words, it would prevent you from becoming confused.
Хорошо. Не будем говорить до плохого.
Head to the small port town of Highcliff when you are free of the swamp. There, seek passage on a ship to Neverwinter. The beast that attacked us will leave West Harbor alone once they realize their quarry has fled. If all goes well, you should be in Neverwinter before they find your trail. Say your farewells. Your boots may travel many roads before you return. I let some of the others know you are leaving, but not the why of it.
Почему бы тебе самому не отнести осколок?
I was raised amongst the wild elves. For all my years amongst the race of man, they make little sense to me. You
Интересно,
are
что
one of
было
them.
бы, если бы я был
You
кем-нибудь из
understand
другой
them.
расы?
I have done all I can to hide your presence. If these beasts come again, West Harbor will need me. I have created a screen of activity. On a normal night, your trip with Bevel would have been easily spotted, but not tonight. It still may not be enough, but there is little else I can do. Return when you are ready to leave, and we will speak of the path you must take.
Хорошо, говорим с остальными. Спасибо.
So, your father sent you off to Neverwinter. As if everything that's happened tonight isn't enough adventuring for one lifetime. I'm hoping that you'll be back soon enough after you reach the city, but most people who leave West Harbor don't come back. It'll be a shame to see you go. We lost a lot of harbormen to the attack. Hopefully your father's right and there will be no more attacks once the shard is gone. Still, the village will need every sword arm it has.
Блажен, кто верует.
As a member of the militia, my sworn
Может,
duty
и не
is to
будет.
defend West Harbor. I can't just turn my back on that.
Хорошо.
I'll do my best to keep the place standing for you when you return. I want to hear about all of your adventures. Not really. There's an inn north of here along the road. It's the only one between here and the edge of the mare, from
Ну,
what
вот
I
это на самом деле
understand.
полезная инфа, то, что на севере есть таверна.
Plenty of lizard folk in the swamp, of course. Just stick to the roads and you'll be fine, though. At least, that's what I've heard.
Выбирать Бивила не стоит, мы и так у него все взяли.
Good luck. And if you run across the one who killed Amy, stick a blade through his heart for me. She deserves at least that.
Так, кто еще есть? Орлен. Можешь чем-нибудь помочь? Как обстоят дела на полях? А, в гавани не урожай, понятно. Мать Бивила. Ты была в Невервинтере? Я там родилась. Отлично. Можешь что-нибудь посоветовать? Я проявляю уважение, но не забывай, что жители гавани покрепче горожан. Можешь что-нибудь помочь? А, нет, твари весь дом. Ну, пусть будут твари, я тут при чем? Если мы что-то узнаем про Юсона Лорна, мы сообщим. Марат Меринг. Ты можешь чем-нибудь помочь? Я лишь скромный жрец. Много говорильни, мне нужно лечение. Спасибо.
So, Dagon is sending you to Neverwinter, eh? I can't say I approve. If it were a militia matter, I wouldn't send you alone. But I don't have any right to tell him how to raise his child. Can you at least tell me why you're going? Your father wouldn't tell me a thing.
От этого зависит безопасность деревни.
You're less cryptic than your father. But not by much. It won't be easy reaching Neverwinter. I've traveled that way once or twice. It's a dangerous journey, especially for one traveling alone. You might want to ask around the village. If you're going to leave, some folks might be able to offer some help.
Ты можешь что-нибудь
You
помочь?
may not have trained under me, but I've always enjoyed your company. And you acquitted yourself well with the village defense. Here, take this shield. It's always served me well. And even if you don't use it, you can sell it for some gold that might do you some good. The road is as wild as a road can get and still be called a road. And that was before the patrols stopped coming. There's only the one road in the mare, and that leads to us. There's a small inn on the way. Makes most of his trade off adventurers and the like. Galen, you remember him? The merchant? Well, he says the road is even worse than before. Lizardlings and other creatures have been sighted, and in large numbers.
Что ты можешь сказать про
He's
Галина?
about the only merchant that comes our way. Does it once or twice a year. And thank Joaquin he does. We don't have a blacksmith, so he sells us what we can't make ourselves. With the way he loves to stop and chat, I wouldn't be surprised if you caught up with him. Your guess is as good as mine. All I can say is I wish they'd start up again. Might have prevented the attack on us, or at least given us some warning. Well, you already know about that war they had against Luskan a while back. Nasty business that was. Lost too many Grey Cloaks in that campaign, from what I hear. The whole city was burned to the ground. Every last house. Neverwinter's rival to the north. A den of thieves and pirates it is. Their leaders, the High Captains, some of them were pirates. And to make matters worse, a sinister cabal is said to rule from the shadows. The Arcane Brotherhood. There's nothing good about Luskan. I'd just avoid it. Lizardlings you already know. Although, the ones around here are the weakest of their lot. So if you see others, expect a tough fight. The swamp beetles and other critters have been more active too. Adar said he saw a whole nest of them not 2 moons back, scuttling around the mare. And lastly, stick to the road. I hear there are spiders, walking dead, and worse, off the road. Of course. Like what? So, you want to hear a story? Look out for the swamp elf. You see, an elf never stops growing, and usually they head to Evermeet before they get much bigger than human-sized. But one of the eldest lives in our own swamp. Huge he is, tall as a tree.
Что за ересь?
It's the truth, I say. This giant elf has been known to hurl rocks great distances, and it has the evil eye. If it ever locks eyes on you...
Превратишься в лягушку?
No, but close. It turns you into a stone. Not stone, but a stone. Just look around the swamp, and you'll see hundreds of its victims. And just by looking at them, you can't tell if it's just an ordinary rock, or
Ладно.
whether it you... Just don't look him in the eyes.
До свидания. Ну и, собственно, поговорить с магом нашим.
This incursion is the most noteworthy event that's happened here in years. I had high hopes for Amy. She was a rare find in West Harbor. A shame she failed to heed her first lesson. Always listen to Tarmas. Not that I expect you would understand, but she was the only one capable of holding a coherent conversation with me. Go if you must, but mysteries remain here that need to be answered. An inconvenience? Bah! I wouldn't expect one of your small intellect to understand. Suffice to say that her loss pains me beyond mere inconvenience. Suffice it to say that I find the bustle of city life even less endearing than the mosquitoes here. And here I can work quietly, in exchange for teaching some mud farmer's child a bit of lore every now and again. There's more to it than farming and pig contests. Of that you can be certain. Come back later, then we can talk.
Я тоже
And that makes you a diamond in the muck. You've learned your letters, and even some of the art. As much as it pains me to lose the only other worthwhile mind in the village to some journey through the swamp, I think a far brighter future lies ahead of you than behind, yes? Just mind the lessons that I've taught you, and perhaps you'll avoid Amy's fate. Do you think it's by choice? Having filthy beggar children tidying my place up with inept hands and clouded minds? I could hire a servant for that. But the village has expectations of a resident wizard, responsibilities that cannot be shirked. So I teach them their letters, so they can write dirty messages in the mud or some such rot, only to watch them throw it all away in a meaningless gesture of loyalty. Stupid girl. That man says decidedly too much. It's true that part of the reason I came to West Harbor is because of the war that was fought here. You've probably heard it mentioned from time to time. And no doubt you've also heard the same vague accounts I have, assuming you could pry even that from the other villagers. The whole affair is quite mysterious, I'm afraid. Demons were involved, that much is certain. But, curiously enough, there are no clear answers to who fought whom and why. I think part of it is the remoteness of the location, yes? There were few battles in the war, and all of them were fought in the Mare of Dead Men. An evil wizard was behind the whole thing. There were very few Neverwinter troops that actually saw any action, and none of them survived. And what would they say? I'm guessing that the harbormen are as much in the dark in this as the Neverwinter archivists are. The battle that was fought here didn't involve heralds and flowery declarations. It involved the wholesale slaughter of two forces, with your village in the middle. The entire village was nearly destroyed, and almost no one who stayed in West Harbor survived the night. Of course. In fact, I would prefer it. Oh, very well. I suppose I could always use more coin.
Так, порошок продать. Дубинку оставим. Так, мох нам нафиг не нужен. Мандолину продать. Кинжал оставим. Золотая чаша. Всеобщее исцеление тяжелых ран. Классная вещь. Осколок дает нам бонус к здоровью. Отлично. Дубинку продадим. Ну и крафт ингредиенты.